Did you know that nearly 500,000 people left the UK in the last year alone, with immigrants making up a staggering majority of that number? It's a shocking trend that's raising eyebrows worldwide. But here's the real question. Why are so many people walking away from a country once seen as a land of endless opportunities? For decades, the UK has been a beacon for those seeking a better life, better jobs, better education, a better future. But now, something has shifted. Families are packing their bags, skilled workers are leaving behind lucrative jobs, and communities are disappearing. What's happening behind the scenes? Is it the skyrocketing cost of living, the tightening grip of immigration policies, or the emotional toll of discrimination and alienation? Or could it be something deeper, something more personal, more human? In this video, we're diving into 10 surprising and powerful reasons why immigrants are leaving the UK in record numbers. From hidden struggles to undeniable facts, each reason tells a story of frustration, hope, and a search for something better. Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind this exodus. Some of these reasons might shock you, and others might hit closer to home than you expect. Number 1. Rising cost of living. The soaring cost of living in the UK is one of the biggest reasons immigrants are leaving in record numbers. Imagine this. Rent prices have surged by over 10% in the past year alone, while essentials like food and energy bills are climbing at rates many families simply cannot keep up with. For immigrants who often face additional financial burdens, this strain is even more overwhelming. Take housing, for example. Immigrants frequently settle in major cities like London, Manchester, or Birmingham, where rents are among the highest in Europe. A single-bedroom flat can cost more than half of a person's monthly income. Add to that rising utility costs, where energy bills have doubled for some households, and suddenly staying afloat feels impossible. And it's not just housing. Basic groceries like bread, milk, and vegetables are costing more than ever, forcing many families to cut corners or rely on food banks. Immigrants, many of whom send money back home to support loved ones, find themselves trapped between helping their families abroad and keeping their heads above water in the UK. This financial pressure extends to everyday life. Parents struggle to afford childcare, students face skyrocketing tuition fees, and public transportation costs continue to rise. The dream of a stable, prosperous life in the UK is becoming harder to achieve. For many, the math simply doesn't add up. They start looking for alternatives, countries where their money stretches further and life doesn't feel like a constant struggle. Could the rising cost of living push even more immigrants to say goodbye to the UK? Stick around as we uncover more reasons behind this exodus. Number 2. Strict immigration policies. For immigrants in the UK, navigating the immigration system feels like walking a never-ending maze. Over the years, policies have become stricter and the barriers to staying in the country have grown higher. What used to be a straightforward path for many is now a stressful and uncertain journey. Take the visa system, for example. Immigrants now face higher fees, more complex requirements, and shorter durations for work and residency permits. Imagine having to reapply every few years, not knowing if you'll be allowed to stay, all while paying thousands of pounds for application fees. For many families, these costs and uncertainties are simply unsustainable. The hostile environment policy has also made life incredibly difficult for immigrants. This set of measures aims to deter illegal immigration, but often ends up targeting law-abiding residents. Immigrants are required to prove their status constantly when renting a home, accessing healthcare, or even opening a bank account. One small mistake, like missing a document, can lead to devastating consequences, including deportation. And for families, the situation can be heartbreaking. Spouses and children are separated due to income thresholds and visa delays, leaving loved ones stranded across borders. The emotional toll is immense, with many forced to choose between staying in the UK and reuniting with their families elsewhere. For many immigrants, these strict policies feel less like rules and more like walls keeping them out. As countries like Canada, Australia, and even parts of Europe offer more welcoming systems, the choice becomes clear. Leave the UK for a place that values their contributions and respects their struggles. Stay tuned, because the reasons why immigrants are leaving don't stop here. They only get more revealing. Number 3. Limited job opportunities. For many immigrants, the UK was once a land of promise, offering a wealth of opportunities to build better futures. But now, finding stable and rewarding jobs is becoming increasingly difficult. The job market is tightening, wages are stagnating, and immigrants often find themselves stuck in low-paying roles despite their qualifications. One major issue is underemployment. Highly skilled immigrants, doctors, engineers, IT professionals, are often forced to take on jobs far below their skill level due to licensing restrictions or lack of recognition for foreign qualifications. Imagine spending years earning a degree and building a career, only to find yourself working as a cashier or delivery driver because your credentials aren't accepted. Even in industries where immigrants have traditionally thrived, such as hospitality, healthcare, and construction, opportunities are drying up. Post-Brexit labor shortages have created instability, and employers are more hesitant to hire non-UK citizens due to added paperwork and legal complexities. This leaves many immigrants feeling overlooked and undervalued. Wages are another challenge. Despite working long hours, immigrants often earn less than their UK-born counterparts. Combine that with the rising cost of living, and it becomes clear why many feel they're working harder but falling further behind. The frustration is palpable. Why stay in a country where your potential is capped and your hard work goes unrecognized? Many immigrants are now looking elsewhere, countries like Germany, Canada, and the US, where their skills are valued and job opportunities are more accessible. For those who came to the UK in search of a brighter future, this lack of opportunity is a bitter pill to swallow, and it's one of the many reasons why they're deciding to move on. Number 4. Racism and discrimination. For many immigrants, the dream of starting a new life in the UK comes with an unwelcome reality. Racism and discrimination are still prevalent issues. From microaggressions in daily interactions to outright hostility, these experiences leave many feeling unwelcome and unsafe. The numbers speak volumes. Reports of hate crimes have increased in recent years, with a significant portion targeting immigrant communities. Imagine walking down the street and feeling like you don't belong, or worse, being subjected to verbal abuse simply because of the way you look or speak. For those who came to the UK seeking safety and acceptance, this reality can be deeply disheartening. In the workplace, discrimination is just as pervasive. Immigrants often face barriers to promotions, unequal pay, or limited job opportunities based on their background. Studies have shown that foreign-sounding names on CVs are less likely to get callbacks compared to English names, even when qualifications are identical. This leaves many feeling stuck in a system that doesn't recognize their worth. But it doesn't end there. Immigrant children in schools often experience bullying, while families are sometimes ostracized in their communities. The psychological toll of feeling like an outsider can't be overstated. It's exhausting and isolating. For some, the decision to leave the UK isn't just about economic hardship, it's about reclaiming their dignity and finding a place where they're valued for who they are. Countries with more inclusive policies and diverse cultures are becoming increasingly attractive options. The rise of racism and discrimination in the UK isn't just a problem, it's a wake-up call. Immigrants are choosing to move on, seeking not just better opportunities, but a life where they feel safe and respected. Stay with us as we uncover more reasons behind this growing exodus. Number 5. Decline in public services. For immigrants, access to quality public services like healthcare, education, and transportation is often a major reason for choosing to settle in the UK. But in recent years, these essential systems have come under immense strain, leaving many feeling let down and underserved. Take the National Health Service, NHS, for instance. Once celebrated as one of the best healthcare systems in the world, the NHS is now grappling with long waiting times, staff shortages, and underfunding. Immigrants, many of whom rely heavily on public healthcare, are finding it harder to access timely and quality medical care. Imagine waiting months for a routine checkup or even longer for critical treatments. It's a frustrating and sometimes life-threatening situation. Education is another area of concern. Schools in immigrant-dense areas are overcrowded and resources are stretched thin. Children from immigrant families often struggle to receive the attention and support they need to thrive. This leaves parents questioning whether the UK can still provide the opportunities they envisioned for their kids. Even transportation, once a hallmark of the UK's efficiency, is facing challenges. Rising fares, aging infrastructure, and frequent delays make getting around more expensive and less reliable. For immigrants who depend on public transport to commute, this adds to their growing list of frustrations. When these public services falter, they disproportionately affect immigrant communities, many of whom rely on them as a lifeline. Countries with better funded and more efficient systems, like Germany or the Nordic nations, are becoming more appealing alternatives. For immigrants who came to the UK seeking stability and support, The decline in public services feels like a broken promise. It's yet another reason why so many are deciding to leave in search of a better life. We've poured our heart and soul into uncovering these truths for you. What are your thoughts? Share your perspective in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video insightful, please hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. Thank you so much. Number 6. Brexit and uncertainty. When the UK voted to leave the European Union in 2016, few could predict the profound impact Brexit would have on immigrant communities. Fast forward a few years, and the uncertainty caused by Brexit is one of the main reasons immigrants are packing their bags and leaving the UK. For Europe immigrants, the landscape has changed drastically. Before Brexit, they enjoyed freedom of movement, easy access to jobs, and rights to live and work in the UK without hassle. Post-Brexit, however, these privileges are gone, replaced by complicated residency requirements and strict visa rules. Many Europe citizens now face the daunting task of proving their right to stay, leading to feelings of insecurity and alienation. Even non-Europe immigrants haven't been spared from the ripple effects of Brexit. The economic uncertainty following the referendum has led to job losses, reduced investments, and a weaker pound, which makes it harder for immigrants to send money back home. Industries like hospitality, agriculture, and healthcare, sectors that heavily rely on immigrant labor, are struggling to adapt, leaving workers unsure about their future. Beyond economics, Brexit has also amplified anti-immigrant rhetoric and hostility. Immigrants often report feeling unwelcome as the political climate seems to emphasize division over inclusion. For many, this growing tension is a deal breaker. Countries in Europe like Germany, France, and the Netherlands are now offering attractive alternatives with more stable policies and a clearer path to citizenship. For immigrants in the UK, the uncertainty of life post-Brexit is simply too much to bear. As the fallout from Brexit continues to unfold, it's becoming clear why so many immigrants are choosing to leave. Number 7. Lack of belonging. For many immigrants, the decision to leave the UK isn't just about finances or policies, it's deeply personal. The feeling of not belonging has become a silent yet powerful reason driving them away. After all, everyone wants to feel valued, accepted, and part of the community they call home. In the UK, many immigrants report feeling isolated and disconnected. Cultural differences, language barriers, and a lack of inclusivity often make it difficult to integrate into society. Even after living in the UK for years, some immigrants find themselves being treated as outsiders, whether in their neighborhoods, workplaces, or social circles. This sense of exclusion creates an emotional toll that no paycheck or opportunity can fix. For some, it's the subtle things, the questioning looks, the avoidance in conversations, or the casual remarks that highlight their foreignness. For others, it's more blatant, like being ignored for promotions or excluded from community events. Imagine working hard to build a life in a new country, only to feel like you don't truly belong. Immigrant children often face these challenges too, struggling to find their identity in schools where they may feel different from their peers. This experience can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem, further deepening the divide. Meanwhile, other countries are fostering inclusivity by celebrating diversity and creating spaces where immigrants feel welcomed and supported. Places like Canada and Australia actively encourage cultural exchange and belonging, making them attractive alternatives. When a person feels they don't belong, it's only natural to seek a place where they do. For many immigrants in the UK, this lack of connection and community is the final push they need to move on. Stick with us as we uncover even more reasons behind this growing exodus. Number 8. Better opportunities abroad. For many immigrants, the decision to leave the UK isn't about giving up, it's about seizing better opportunities elsewhere. As the challenges of living in the UK continue to mount, countries like Canada, Australia, Germany, and the United States are stepping up to offer a brighter future. One of the biggest draws is the promise of better financial opportunities. In many countries, salaries are higher and living costs are lower, allowing immigrants to enjoy a better quality of life. For example, a nurse in the UK might earn a modest income compared to their counterparts in Australia or Canada, where wages in healthcare are significantly more competitive. Beyond finances, these countries often provide clearer immigration pathways and better support systems. Canada's Express Entry program and Australia's points-based immigration system are designed to welcome skilled workers and their families, offering long-term stability and citizenship options. In contrast, the UK's immigration process is seen as increasingly restrictive and uncertain. Another key factor is work-life balance. Immigrants in countries like Sweden or New Zealand often report enjoying shorter working hours, better parental leave policies, and a greater emphasis on mental health and well-being. These aspects make relocating an attractive choice for those seeking not just jobs, but a better lifestyle for themselves and their families. Cultural acceptance also plays a role. Many countries actively celebrate diversity and provide immigrants with the resources and support they need to integrate, from language classes to cultural exchange programs. This fosters a sense of belonging that's hard to find in the UK. When immigrants see better opportunities abroad, it's no wonder they choose to leave. After all, who wouldn't want to build a life in a place that values their contributions and offers them a fair chance at success? Number 9. Political climate. The political climate in the UK has become another major factor driving immigrants to leave. Over the years, the tone of public discourse around immigration has shifted, creating a sense of unease and exclusion for many who once saw the UK as a welcoming and progressive country. For immigrants, the impact of anti-immigrant rhetoric in politics and the media is deeply personal. Policies and campaigns often emphasize taking back control or reducing immigration, leaving many feeling like scapegoats for broader societal issues. Statements from political figures can sometimes fan the flames of division, leading to a rise in hostility and a sense that immigrants are unwelcome contributors to the nation's fabric. This climate extends beyond words. Legislative changes, such as the Hostile Environment Policy, aim to make life difficult for undocumented immigrants, but often end up affecting law-abiding residents too. Immigrants feel the constant need to prove their legitimacy, whether through paperwork for landlords or increased scrutiny at work. This constant sense of being under watch erodes trust and security. The broader political landscape doesn't help either. Post-Brexit uncertainty, economic instability, and divisive campaigns have left immigrants wondering if their future in the UK is secure. For many, the anxiety of not knowing what's next outweighs the benefits of staying. In contrast, countries like Canada, New Zealand, and Germany actively foster inclusive policies, framing immigrants as valuable contributors to society. These nations offer more stable and welcoming political environments, making them attractive alternatives. For immigrants who feel disheartened by the UK's political direction, leaving becomes a way to reclaim a sense of agency and hope. As this trend continues, the political climate remains a powerful factor in this growing exodus. Number 10. Family and cultural ties. At the heart of many immigrants' decisions to leave the UK lies something deeply personal, the pull of family and cultural ties. For many, being far from loved ones and their cultural roots can feel isolating, no matter how successful or stable life in the UK may seem. Immigrants often face a constant longing for connection. Many have left parents, siblings, and close-knit communities behind in their home countries or other regions. The physical distance, combined with the challenges of high travel costs and visa restrictions, makes it difficult to visit or reunite with loved ones regularly. Over time, this separation takes a heavy emotional toll. Cultural identity plays a significant role too. Living in a country where traditions, language, and customs differ drastically can lead to feelings of disconnection. While immigrants often make incredible efforts to adapt and embrace their new environment, the longing for familiar food, festivals, and shared values can grow stronger over time. For some, this yearning becomes a compelling reason to return home or relocate to a country with a larger community that shares their heritage. Additionally, many immigrants face the challenge of raising children in a culture different from their own. Parents often want their kids to grow up surrounded by their native language, traditions, and extended family, which may not always be possible in the UK. Countries that offer stronger cultural communities or are closer to home, like the US, UAE, or even their country of origin, become increasingly attractive. Reuniting with family and rekindling cultural connections can feel like a chance to regain a sense of belonging and purpose. For immigrants grappling with these emotional challenges, leaving the UK isn't just about what they're leaving behind, it's about what they're returning to. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the real reasons behind this growing trend. Leaving a country is never an easy decision, especially when it's one that many once dreamed of calling home. For immigrants in the UK, the choice to leave is often driven by a complex mix of challenges, rising costs, restrictive policies, and a sense of not belonging. Yet, it's important to remember that this decision is not about failure, it's about seeking a better life, one where opportunities align with aspirations and where they feel valued. immigrants have always been a vital part of the UK's story, building industries, enriching culture, and contributing to society in countless ways. But as times change, so do priorities. For some, the UK may no longer provide the stability, inclusivity, or opportunities they need to thrive. This isn't a reflection of their effort or resilience, it's a recognition of what's best for their future. For those staying in the UK, there's still hope. The challenges faced by immigrant communities highlight areas where change is needed, from improving policies to fostering inclusivity. Perhaps by addressing these issues, the UK can once again become a place where people from all over the world feel welcome and supported. And for those who choose to leave, this is not the end of their journey, but the beginning of a new chapter. Whether it's reuniting with family, embracing better opportunities abroad, or returning to their roots, this decision is about pursuing a life that feels right. As we reflect on this growing trend, let's approach it with empathy and understanding. After all, the stories of immigrants are stories of courage, resilience, and hope, and that deserves nothing but respect. Wherever their journeys take them, we wish them nothing but success and happiness. Now it's your turn. What are your thoughts on this growing trend? Share your perspective in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories and ideas. If you found this video insightful, check out our previous video for more eye-opening content. We put a lot of effort into bringing you these stories, so please support us by hitting that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. Thank you for watching.